Your company, what do you guys call it? Do you call it a co-packer?
No, a contract manufacturer. So our contract manufacturer, what they do is they lab test whey products and I mean all the products that you get, but they'll lab test them and they'll say, this is WPC80 whey protein concentrate, and it's made with sunflower lecithin. So you get it from one company, Milk Specialties, and that's who we use as Milk Specialties, and then
For your whey.
yeah, for our whey, and they get it from another company.
They get the whey from somebody else?
Yeah, like Glanbia is another company.
Yeah.
So let's say Glanbia's got a little better price. So what they end up doing is they say, okay, WPC80, it's still sunflower lecithin, it's non-GMO, it's RBGH free, raised out on pasture. It specs out the same, but the thing is that it's might be from different regions. It's gonna be different no matter what.
What do you mean it specs out the same? They're testing amino acids?
Yeah, they're
So the amino acid profile
and
is
it's
the
got
same.
sunflower lecithin. Everything's the exact same in the lab.
Yeah.
But when you mix it, it mixes differently because it could be from different cows. It could be from,
Right, so it has a different,
it could be from all Holsteins
it's like
versus Ayrshires.
using like fine ground sugar versus coarse sugar.
Yeah, or same with salt, same exact thing. So what we figured out, this is this year in about February or March, was we had our contract manufacturer changed our whey, even though it was the exact same specs in the lab.
They changed the supplier.
They changed the supplier because it was a little bit cheaper, and we sat there and we had a couple complaints online, and then
About flavor or mixing?
flavor, that it wasn't mixing or it wasn't tasting the same as batches prior.
Batches, yeah.
So we ended up.
When you first heard that, were you like, yeah, whatever? Probably
Yeah,
it's
actually,
fine.
we were like we
That's
had a
what I
couple.
would do.
We had a
I'll do
couple.
it. People do that all the time with sausage, and I'm like, it's fine, don't worry.
Yeah,
about it.
we had a couple people complain at a competition. We're like, nah, they're idiots. They don't like. Do people eat crap?
Yeah.
They eat like Pop-Tarts all day. Like they have
Yeah.
no idea what they're talking
They don't
about.
have a palate.
And then after a while, we probably had like 5 or 6, and we were like, maybe something's up. So
Yeah,
we tasted it.
right.
Which this is the thing. We were a young company. We had no idea like how we didn't have a process yet because we were so young, and we ended up getting to the point where we started tasting it. And we're like, dude, something's up.
Yeah.
And the contract manufacturer kept insisting we didn't change anything. We didn't change anything. We didn't change anything. And I actually met a woman halfway between where we live and the manufacturer, and she brought all these samples, and I like reamed her out. I was like, you changed something and you're not telling us, and you tried to hide it. And she's like, well, all we did was change the supplier.
So before that they hadn't
They hadn't said anything.
Yeah.
And then, I talked to Chris and DJ, and I'm like, dude, they changed the supplier. So they went from, we use Milk Specialties, and Glanbia, I think, is also like the Optimum Nutrition, which is the GNC brand.
Glanbia is such a bad name.
Yeah, it's a horrible name. Milk Specialties is pretty like
it's
marketing type name.
Yeah. It's like benign. Doesn't really.
So we figured it out, and then that night we actually had a conversation with our like salesperson, and the first 30 minutes was pretty much me berating this guy, like, are you fucking serious?
Sales guy?
Yeah, like dude, you lied to us. You're full of shit. Like
The sales guy from the manufacturer.
yeah, like you told us you weren't gonna change anything, but the thing is that that's standard practice.
To not tell people.
Yeah, in the supplement industry, it is standard practice to get, as long as it specs out in the lab, it's the same scientifically, it's the same legally, and they can change. It doesn't matter. If their profit margin increases, they change it. And we caught them immediately, and dude, we cost them probably $25,000
Yeah, because you called them out.
right away. And the thing is that we had to go back with our customers and make good on everything. We sent out a mass email, we put it out on social media that there was complaints and all this, and we said, we want to be as transparent as we can be and say, look, this is what we believe in, this is who we are, and this is what we do to handle these screw ups and to prevent this from happening ever again is, you know, and what's funny is now we're going, you know, we have 2 or 3 different contract manufacturers that we meet with and that we do R&D with, and the first thing that Chris always brings up is you can't change anything. Nothing.
Yeah.
You change anything and it's done. We're
Right.
not dealing with you. We don't care who you are. This is how we run. We don't care how the industry's run. The industry is the biggest scam of an industry. I mean, it's just like the food industry. It's all
people just
scams.
making
you know?
money off of marketing.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. So it's like we're sitting here trying to change it, and in the process, dealing with headache after headache because
everyone in that industry is so set in their ways, and
they don't want to be held accountable.
They're just so used to making a 1,000% profit margin and not actually giving a shit about the final product that comes out of it. Yeah.
What's funny is it seems like every manufacturer has, you know, 1 or 2 guys that's behind the scenes that's like really, really smart, really intelligent, and they know everything. And they'll sit there and be like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna change the flavor profile for sure." But most people can't figure that out.
We used to get a magazine at Trogs when I was working there at the brewery, and it was like you know, food science, some kind of food science magazine.
Yeah.
But it was about all of the, you know, things that you could, additives and things you could put into food to make the same sensory qualities as like normal food items and stuff. And it was just like Frankenfood magazine basically.
That's what I always think is funny is when people say like, "Oh, sustainability won't work for curing world hunger." Oh, really? So putting that much money into Frankenfoods is actually sustainable.
It's more functional. Yeah, more
so
functional.
But going back with our issue, everything always comes back to how transparent is our manufacturer with what are we buying? Can we trust them to put what we want and what type of freeze-dried fruit, where are they sourcing that from? What, you know, is it organic? Is the stevia organic? Is everything that we want going in there 100%? And
so the guy who you were talking about though, what did he say? Did he say that he knew
he got
that it was going to change it?
He did acknowledge that it could change the profile of the flavor. He wanted to address me being obnoxious and yelling at him first. First he like kept saying like, Dane,
he's like, "This isn't how we do business."
He's like, "Dane, I can't have this business meeting. It was me and Chris, with you screaming at me through the phone."
Oh man, I don't know anybody else who's reacted to you that way.
Yeah. So like the funny part is
USA weightlifting.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. And but that's the thing is that people who don't know me don't comprehend that I will do everything I can to get what I want, because what I want is what I fucking believe in. And if I believe in something, that is what is going to get done.
Well, it's because most people who that problem would happen to would just be like, "Well, you know, I know you guys were probably trying to do your best here, but you know, something happened. We're having a lot of customer complaints, you know," and they would come at it from an angle of understanding,
right,
and try and sympathize. When you know for a fact, you going into it, and I would going into it, would know for a fact that these people are just trying to cut costs and try and do the absolute cheapest possible thing they can do to maximize profits. And that's like the most frustrating possible thing about our culture and our society, is that is the number one thing always on everyone's mind. But that is the whole reason why people buy things from you and from me, is because they're tired of that shit, and they want businesses that are showing them everything that they're doing, and so they can see what's actually going into the shit that's going in their mouths.
Yeah.
Like, that's the end of it. Like, this has been going on now for the last 40 or so years, and people are done. People are tired of it.
A lot of people are. Some
yeah,
people
right. Most people are. Not most people are. Some people are done with it now, but you know, and then that's the thing. This is the thing that I always get people talking about too. To me, is talking about like the stuff that you're doing and the stuff that I'm doing being a fad, and you know, about sort of when it's going to stop.
People said it was a fad in 2004 when you and I first got into eating organic food and raw milk. Raw milk, is that the new fad? Like,
And so so my answer to that is always okay, if it's a fad, then everyone who's following this fad literally just has to decide, nah, you know what? All this eating clean stuff, I'm just gonna start putting poison back in my body again. No big deal.
Yeah.
Like that's
and not notice a difference.
And not watch my body completely degrade and watch my body like tell me how stupid I am for doing this.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing people don't understand, and a fad would be something that doesn't affect you, to that root level of actually performing poorly in your life.
Right.
Well, so if there's so much, so both of us have so much misinformation in our industry. Honestly, almost information against what you and I are producing, and so like how do you go about trying to sort of like clear the fog and show people that the stuff that you have is different than the stuff that they've been getting somewhere else, for them to even try it in the first place,
like how to show our potential customers.
Yeah, so you have to differentiate yourself somehow.
I think so. First, we want to try and we sort of view it as there's our marketing is we've got to have a little bit of a generic marketing to initially attract people. So people will see organic food, and they just go look at it. So we get the people who are just organic foodies to come look at it generically. But then on top of that, we use our athletes, because all of our athletes take our products. They're all tested by WADA and USADA, and they all sit there and they get, we sponsor a lot of the best athletes in the world. So they sort of speak for us. And on top of that, I think my gym and my personality and our athletes and, the results speak for themselves. So
it's probably also just the fact that you're saying it. Nobody else is talking.
Nobody brings it up.
Nobody else would even be willing to talk about a custom manufacturer.
Right. We post a video of our contract manufacturer, and we say, look, we go and check these guys. Yeah. We make sure that they're doing what we want. Chris will sit there, and Chris sits there, and he says, this is what I want. X, Y, and Z has to be done this way. If it's not, we're not working with you. Yeah. So he sort of uses the business side. He's in the industry. He knows what it's like, and he doesn't want to deal with any bullshit.
Yeah.
I sort of sit there, and I'm like the Tommy knocker, just ready, this is what we believe in.
We're going to have a business meeting where I just yell at you.
And if you screw it up, I'm going to be pissed. Because my kids are taking this product. And my athletes are taking this. And
what was that shit that you had before you
One
started
World Way.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's that's the whole thing, is that
what was that? Just pure sugar?
It was maltodextrin. It was 20 grams of maltodextrin. And that's the thing, is that people need to understand and comprehend that where we're coming from isn't, we want to make money. Everybody wants to make money. But we want to provide a product that is as transparent as possible, because the most transparent product that you can come up with is the highest quality product that you will be able to provide.
Exactly.
So if we can provide it at a transparent, this is where we get it made, this is where we source the ingredients from, and this is why we do it. You can do anything you want. You can test whatever you want, and it'll be straight exactly how we say it, because that's how we are as a company, and that's how we are as people. Whereas all these other companies, dude, they want to hide behind a computer screen, and they just, it's all marketing, and it's chicks with huge fake ones, and they're super sexy and stuff, or guys that are sauced to the gills, and they look good, and they say, oh, I take muscle milk protein 2000 maximum, and I bench press 700 pounds. And it's it's dude, really? You and people buy it, but it's but they're not real. They're not real. It's
well, and that's the Weekend Warrior kind of people who are buying that stuff, I would feel like.
But the thing is a lot of the Weekend Warriors now are, because of paleo diet and CrossFit, they're starting to get more into, wow, I don't get bloated when I take earth-fed muscle. I don't get the runs when I take earth-fed muscle. Right. I'm not allergic to whey protein
That's actually what Marcel said to me.
Yeah, I actually thought I was at one point, because there's so much garbage in it.
Yeah, right.
So that's the other thing, is that a lot of people will take whey protein or whatever, and they sit there and they feel like they get sick from it, but they're getting sick from the gums that are in it. They're getting sick from the, from the sucralose or anything like that, or the coloring and stuff like that. That's what they're getting sick from.
Right.